I have a comment reaction to Tucker Carlson again, and not him again. I don't react to him usually, but him and anybody else with this thing of anti-Israel. Okay, look, these people, you don't understand. Oh, why'd we support the strikes in Iran? If I used to live in a ghetto in Philadelphia, down by Kensington, Allegheny, in Terrorist Village, at G and Russell, because I don't have a lot of money and I was poor and I rented there. And I found out all kinds of terrible things going on in that neighborhood, and I realized this is terrorism. This isn't just people having an open drug market down the street, an 8-minute walk by the train station and all that. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot of international different colors of children packed into houses around there. There's houses full of black kids. There's houses with Iranians. There's houses with Latino people that I don't know their exact origin. Some of these houses I know people sell crack out of. Some of these kids I don't even know that they go to school. I talked to the postal worker, the postmaster. There was a new code and everything because I was concerned that, they're supposed to report when they see these kids home all day when they deliver the mail and realize these kids are living here like slaves and they don't even have an ID. They're not even going to school. This was going on. There's houses that are MK Ultra rape houses. There's rape houses. People come in and rape little children. I'm not kidding. They move kids around, some of the kids house to house. Some of the kids stay in the houses. This is the ghetto. This is in the United States of America. This is their international sanctuary city, Philadelphia bullshit. Sanctuary for pedo-pimping domestic terrorists in the households. Because I consider real domestic terrorism is when there's terrorism going on in house to house to house. It's in our country, but it's in the homes. Okay? This whole thing with them bringing tons of kids over here for years and insourcing. Never mind they're trying to take our jobs, but listen, Tucker, I've heard you flip before and come against, on one hand you'll usually speak for a certain type of ethos, and then I've heard this before. Years ago I heard you one time flip like as if you were one of the other ones, and you're sitting there, I don't know why, I don't know why, because do you see these people when they come out, we hate the USA, burn their flags, kill the Americans? They do the same thing to Israel. They see us and Israel as the same. So that's why we support Israel, because we're allies. Plus our God is the same God. God calls US his eagle. He's still the God of Israel. Okay? There's people still practicing, Neo-Babylon cults. You think these people from the Bilderberger and the CFR and the Balaamite Bohemian Grove where they, listen to what Epstein's niece was talking about. They used to take her to these events and they would just tie her up and rape her in the background. They do things like this. This is the way they roll. It's terrorists turn out their own kids. They beat in and gang rape on their own children and the children, and sometimes the stolen children or adopted children into their circles. That's why they make them wicked. Like Jesus said, they try to make their sons twice the sons of hell that they are. They're not making these kids to be good little children and obedient and upright, honest little children. They're trying to make them, they hate these little children because they hate children. For some reason, they just hate. Not like the good hate where God and Jesus hate a liar, but they just hate what's good. And then they try to turn it out and turn it into something else and pimp it and rape it and make it live in duplicity and split duality, like personality. It's a mind slavery. MK Ultra has a lot to do with that. Okay? And yes, these people in the past, whether they're from one country or another, it's an international cabal of scumbags. But they're big over there in Iran. Yes, Hezbollah is part of it. God says, and this is in the Bible, in the Hezbollah church, the mother is the wife. That means there's incest going on in the family. The mothers breed with the children, their sons, or have sex with them at least, and probably breed sometimes. Muerte Spanish fly over there. I used to live in New York. I've lived in Los Angeles a little bit. I know Puerto Rican people and shit for a long time, decades, okay? I'm 40-something years old. I've been around. I talked to a lot of people. I've seen things. I know that there's a big thing where they turn out even some of them turn out their kids at their birthday parties. I know horrible things, okay? This type of wickedness with lack of morality towards whatever, that's kind of part of their whole steez, okay? You think about China works with Muertes to send fentanyl in here, okay? That's been going on, a big drug market. They're doing it to try to destabilize our country, because if they can turn everyone out into junky trash that don't have any morals and people who would rather sell their kids to P. Diddy, and then they're trying to make us poor too. So all those people that sold their kids over to fake John of God or P. Diddy or Epstein or whoever, if it was out of poverty, that's part of the formula too. Oh, make everybody struggle so poor and desperate, then you get all these drug addicts, you know what I mean? And then they can't even take care of their own children. And then they give them to these monster people. This has been going on, okay? Hezbollah isn't trying to make the whole country rich, okay? Now, people like me as a humanitarian, I'd like there to be welfare that didn't get stolen by AutoPen and fake contracts of the UN devil people that whoever let in here the last 100 years. The thing is, these people aren't staying. God has made it clear. But just so you know why I'm against Iran, why God says I'm cutting off Hezbollah, okay? It's because these people hate us and all they want to do is kill us and terrorize us. And what would they do to us if they had any control over us? Now their most technological faction is the type of people, the enemy works in big tech, fake vaccines, manufacturing cancers and diseases. Then they try to push these things into us, and they even manipulated the whole food market. Look, yeast extract's been in everything since they hit us with the fake vaccine mandate, where they got people fired from the military, they got people fired from their jobs. Ooh, now we're going to come in and put a whole new set of laws into your private sector's jobs and military. The UN and the CDC and the WHO is devil beast system, okay? Really, the real thing is who's in the devil beast system and who's not, and that's how to split them, okay? Hezbollah happens to be in the devil beast system. Muertes, Spanish fly, fentanyl, China happens to be in the devil beast system. Wicked sciences and fake sciences that only torture and kill things in a serial killer hobbies fashion to just try to make things to try to slow our systems down with and terrorize us with and try to make soul sins. Look, they're trying to control your mind, your will, and your spirit, your soul. They just want to get you to comply. Do what we tell you to do. I don't care if it's wipe your ass in a certain way. If I can get you to do what I tell you to do when I don't have a right to tell you to take a vaccine, I don't have a right to tell you how to wipe your ass, all right? They are more concerned with the control factor, because if they can establish control, which is what they had started to do, okay, then they can get you to do something else for them. I'm not having this. I'm not listening to these people. I'm not wearing death masks in a little Hezbollah ritual. I'm not a little dark person that wants to cover my face up, because they're little bandits too. These same people are often doing thieves. Do you know how many electronics and cars have been stolen out of our country and were driven down to Mexico and resold or shipped in crates since the 80s? This is almost 50 years of crime, organized crime and terrorism going in our country, and I have actually seen it. I've seen the results. Philadelphia over there, that neighborhood it looks like Afghanistan in the ghetto. It looks like a Gaza Strip ghetto. I don't need American little black kids and all this living like this. I actually do care about the little black kids, okay? I'm not trying to eat their brains like Hillary Clinton, walnut sauce, John Podesta. I'm trying to free those kids out of it, because I'm pretty sure that's one of their walnut sauce supplies over there, is where they keep them in that neighborhood. I wouldn't doubt it. I highly suspect it. You know, there's a lot of fakes, whether they're fake Jesuits down on Girard Avenue, fake Catholics drinking blood with the Balaamite Church, okay? Fakes all over the place. Fakes in sciences, you know, fakes in Wall Streets, coded slavery embedded into their system, slavery contracts going on in the background. This has all been going on. And then you get witchy-woo, soul selling souls, P. Diddy and type of people and all that too. That was going on too. The same witchy drugs, but P. Diddy was all big into the drugs too. Shipments of ketamine, this, that, all kinds of weird stuff. Again, pharmakia in the Latino language or whatever it doesn't just imply pharma and medicine. It implies witchcraft. It's when you manipulate and try to use substances and medicine in an anti-medicine way and actually use it to drug and to bewilder. This is part of their method because they can't just, they have to Spanish fly people and drug people and bring their sensibility into, ooh, my memory's bad now, ooh, I don't know. Because they want to quiet the victim. They're trying to mind control you. They're raping kids and getting money out of it, out of houses. You think they want those kids on drugs or sit straight and clear and sober? No, they'd rather have them on drugs. And then they do the drug thing too to make everybody shady and questionable and guilt-ridden and dirty feeling, you know? And then, oh, you won't want to leave the gang because you feel like too much of a fuck-up. That's because you people fucked them up. I can see what's going on. I don't blame the children. But if they get older and the children repeat it and stay wicked like them and don't turn away from it, well, then that's how you get, you know, terrorism actually, you see that's how they keep reproducing each other. Like Jesus said, they try to make their sons twice the sons of hell that they are. It's not pretty, and I don't feel like being terrorized by these people and robbed by these people and letting these people take my jobs in my country, in my community. You want to go back to your own country and make it like little Neo-Babylon, Hezbollah world? Little snake rape world and soul sins, and you guys are predators that drug everyone and want to have a sick people. I'm not envious of people. I like seeing people upright, healthy. I'm for eternal life. Jesus said you don't have to die. I already died. I'll claim that. Does anybody else want to talk about all this evil report? Everything's diseases, diseases, diseases. God says that's evil report, and most of the shit is just total bullshit. He really did. He said, just see it as an illusion. He said, it's called evil report. Speak the good report. I've already conquered all those things. And it says in the Bible, the saints suffer all kinds of afflictions, but God heals them all. All right? God's healed a lot of things from me in my past. And I'll say he does do miracles. I've seen some crazy stuff go on. Crazy stuff. I'm going to stick in the truth with that. But if I know there's an enemy that's not doing any of that and isn't of the truth at all, the devil's of lies, I'm not playing these games. I don't lie. I'm not living in a world of lies. I'm not bowing down to the CDC and putting on the mask and getting a vaccine. You know? I wore a mask a few times to go into a few stores during that whole epidemic. I was actually hiking during that whole thing from Georgia up here to the north. And you know, I said no. I had to have arguments with people and said, oh, you're not wearing a mask. Da, da, da. I said, this is bullshit. You know, they can't come in. We have constitutional rights. I also have a right to protest. I have a right for this, a right for that. They're banning me because I was talking against their CDC, you know, and then because I happen to like Trump, they were striking down my YouTube channel, banning me for 3 weeks at a time. This kept happening over and over. Facebook too. You know, I ended up joining Truth Social and Getter because I can actually express myself on there with free speech and not be, you know, because these moderators are obviously CDC puppets. I can't stand you people. It's like the UN. What do you think the WEF and the UN's play is in all this? They want to see you also sick, take the drugs, be weird and broken, be stupid. They're probably jealous because people are bright and healthy and smart and they just want to see you. They're morbid. They like morbidity and death and seeing sick kids. And what do you think? Do you rape kids all day? They turn all pale, soulless looking, sickly. I seen them in Philadelphia. I called people out about this shit to their face. I've had fights with pimps on the streets. I'm missing a tooth right here. The last time that thing cracked, it was a MS-13 that punched me in the face outside of the Checkers in North Philly. Okay? These people are terrorists. They'll be women, yeah, they'll be women. They don't give a shit, even if you don't swing on them. Why? Probably because they got raped so much by their sick little guardians or whatever those fake parents are, or whatever, that they hate women because they've been raped by it. Some of these people I talk to, and some of the people in the hoods and stuff, they talk to me openly and they go against it. And they told me, my grandparents used to rape me, da da da, this used to happen, this. I say, I know what's been going on. I'm not stupid. This is organized terrorist. Like, I know how to raise children a nice way, how to be nice to children. These people do the opposite. They're trying to make the kids terrorists, screwed up in the head. They don't care if they give them health issues. They don't care because they just don't care. if they have the devil in them and they're wicked and they're just evil, it's like chaos. It's like, ooh, they don't care about next year, 5 years down the line, the future generations of the children. I want everyone educated, smart, bright, full of the truth. Yes, I believe in God and I know it's true. I tell the truth of the Torah. You know, they don't want that because they want to make up a story. They don't care what it's about. They just want you to think about what's not even true because they want you in the pit of bewilderment. So, because they'll try to confuse some of you. You know what I mean? Because that's if you can't control someone, what do they think? Ooh, get rid of them, or beat them into a stupor, beat them down. That's what they want, and they'll try to beat you down into poverty, into bad self-esteem, into confusion and ignorance, into being afraid to protest and speak out and express yourself with your constitutionally God-guarded right. People are afraid to talk. I talk to people down south. Oh, I was talking about Trump. Oh, you can't really say that around here. People are afraid to talk out. People are afraid to talk out. What did Joe Biden and his little groups do in some of these places? There's full-grown men that were afraid to express themselves and put on a Trump hat or a Trump shirt and say anything about being pro-Trump. And some of them felt like they had to, oh yeah, we're Democrat, like as if it was like a slavery farm operation where they're also beating down the, oh, we think we're peer pressured, we just got to go along with it. What were they doing to these people in my own country? Israel happens to feel like I do, so I'm great with Israel, and they hate Israel like they hate us. So Israel's our ally. Israel knows what's going on. They've been dealing with these people and fighting off the Muertes, Hezbollah, Spanish Fly type of people with their drones and their little long-range weapons, you know, arsenal and all this. Constantly, these people would try to strike on them every day, sending, you know, missiles over into the, trying to just they don't care who it hits. That's the point. They don't care. You don't realize how long Israel has had to deal with this nuisance? And and guess what? It's not just a nuisance. It could cause injury. It could cause death. These people are actually chaos. They're just chaos. Oh, kill, they just want to destabilize because they're envious. They're envious of our country. Why not instead, you idiot terrorists, if I could flip any of you right now, clean your own act up, focus on yourself, brighten yourself up, clean yourself up. Like Jesus said, you must separate yourself from all these wicked people and the false wrappings and trappings, and maybe just be cleansed and turn over a new leaf. You know, that's the best thing you can do. Because if you don't, you're gonna go down anyway. They're going down because God's getting rid of them. You have to understand, there's more to this. You know, the Lord actually is doing. When they talk about holy war and genocide, yeah, well, the Lord judges every 3 to 4 generations, and the Lord has quite a way of actually. He's the one who actually trims and prunes the tree of life. He's going to genocide and cut off branches and such where he decides, yeah, you're right, this isn't very good. I'm going to get rid of these people. They've proved to be too nasty in these ways, or, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. He said it. He said he's cutting off Hezbollah. There's a reason. Okay? And I would defend Israel. I'm okay with helping them militarily because these same people, they hate Israel, they hate us too, okay? You gotta realize that. People are always turning on Israel. That's because the terrorists are trying to brainwash you against Israel. You don't have to be a pro-Israel extremist. See, you guys are all too extremist and fatalistic and black and white. Whereas, look, I got some Jew in me and I got German in me and Polish. Okay, my family has a weird background. My grandmother, my great-grandparents were there in World War II, and so was my grandmother. Okay? Think about how confusing their whole shit was. Because you had people that were both get together, and some people were forced to work for the Germans, and some people had been Jews. Think about this. I can't just sit there and say, oh, I don't like you because of this. I've been kind to everybody my whole life. Only in the recent years did I go to all out, say, I agree with total warfare against these people, finally. Because I'm not playing fake, oh, you're racist, oh, this, oh, I'm afraid to say anything because a Democrat child molester might misinterpret what I say and want to turn it on me to try to make me look bad in the slanderous, lying, snake way. That's what they did, too. Oh, like acting like they just wanted to steal your voice, quiet you down, you can't say anything. Why? Because I have feelings and I have love and I actually am not a racist, bigot, scumbag piece of shit. You know? Yeah, I keep it real, but I know when someone's a bunch of chaos agent terrorists and they got nothing in their mind other than Spanish fly, rape money, pedo pimping, whatever it's Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, the biolabs, people with the agenda, with the, like I said, the Epstein's family and all what I heard about from his niece on that show. It's like, I know it's the same shit. That's what Martes would do to their kids. You know, I'm not feeling this. If anybody wants to come away from that and open up or just live, I, I'm fine with you. But if you're gonna stay in it and push that agenda, I'm not fine with you. It's very simple. I'm a real human being. I'm a Christian. We're all, you know, God protects humanity, but He says I don't want to have to put these people into the dungeons and hell that I made for demons, but I have to. Some of them, He says, I must do what I must do. Says some of them just don't repent, and they just, all they would do is keep trying to attack the rest of everybody else, whether it's through in a chaotic fashion or an organized fashion, you know, and then it's organized chaos. Slam, 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 slam. Whereas a person like me just sits around in quietness most of the time and just doesn't even do much. I do my walks, I take my exercise, blah, 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 but I'm not sitting there planning attacks on everybody else. I'll express myself, however, and it is my God-given right. But I'm not going to take both sides and say, oh, I'll defend Iran now and everything. No, you guys already screwed up, and they screw up their own people. If I was an Iranian over there, they'd be raping me and trying to kill me, because I'd say you're all scumbag losers. I'd say you're all Muerte Spanish fly, and I would come against them. Wherever I was, in any nation. I can't stand this shit everywhere. But there's certain large groups where it's pretty obvious that's what's going on. And even their own people know it. And there's people in the groups that don't want it. How many Iranians do you think are wishing the U.S. would come in there and take over, or at least just destroy their wicked, pedo-pimping government of Hezbollahs? Because those guys just, they don't care what they're doing. Boom, boom. You guys rape kids. What do I care what you want? We're not the same. Alright? It's not the same, these people, as, I thought a teenager was attractive, or I thought she was 18. I'd say you people, yeah, well, at least they're kind of adults, they look like they have pubes, yeah, they're still sexually active people. That's one class of pedophilia that's called pedophilia that I'm a lot more forgiving about. I say, yeah, well, as long as you're not attracted to little tiny babies that don't even have boobs or anything, and haven't even hit puberty, there's a difference. This is about terrorism. It's not about sex and sexuality. You see, a normal sexual person who might screw up and break the law and have sex with a 16, 17, almost 18-year-old, you'd say, yeah, I kind of see how that could happen to some people. I'm not attracted to them at that age. But some guys, they kind of are grosser than me and they break easier, and maybe they don't